Well, the biggest thing about is that I'm aware of is that we have already shifted into a whole different timeline, different paradigm. And the only challenge we have is believing it. Our brains are still like, human minds tend to believe things and get stuck in a certain way of seeing a certain picture of reality. And that's, if we were able to let go of the picture of reality that we've been in, and maybe we already are, like to whatever extent you're able to let go of the picture of reality, we're in a different time. Like, can anybody feel it? I mean, can you feel this? Like,
No, not yet.
okay, not yet. Okay, well, that's honest. I mean, we all do it in different ways.
And we have to co-create it too. We have to be a part of it and want it to happen. I've been waiting all my life for it.
So one of the things when we come together like this, we amplify the level of consciousness that we can all tap into. And one of my favorite phrases from the greatest Jew who ever lived, Jesus, was that when two or more are gathered, there I am also. And I am is the divine presence. It's not a certain man with a beard. It's like it's this divine presence that is our true self. So when two or more are gathered, what that means to me is it's kind of like the laws of physics. When you put two energy sources together, they both boost each other's energy to a higher level. So we boost each other by being in this space. And so all you got to do is relax and go along for the ride. And you don't need to have a certain set of skills or be a certain level of enlightenment, or you just forget all that stuff. I mean, what we really are is this divine presence. We don't need to be qualified or, be initiated or be, somebody else to say, now you're okay. It's just a matter of letting go of that conditioning. So let's just start out with just a little bit of this meditation where we can let go of whatever we've been thinking and doing and identifying with all day. And so there's some very simple methods that help with that. One of them is to put the tip of your tongue on the roof of your mouth, slightly behind your two front teeth. There's a little ridge in the upper palate there, and just right in front of that ridge. And if you touch very lightly, you may be able to feel a little bit of electricity at that spot on the tip of your tongue. In Chinese medicine, acupuncture says that the tip of the tongue relates to the heart in tongue diagnosis. And that spot on the top of your mouth, your upper palate, is like a circuit breaker. So when you put your tongue there, you're connecting all the yin energies and all the yang energies of your body and making them into one continuous loop. That's often called a microcosmic orbit. It doesn't matter if you use that fancy name. It is just a loop of energy, of your energy. And then just relax. It's very simple instructions. Put the tip of your tongue there and relax. And it's good to breathe more deeply. That always helps into your lower abdomen. And I can see that today's session is dedicated toward just letting go of what you believe into something that could be much grander than what you believe. So again, tip of your tongue on the roof of your mouth, relaxing, breathing in your abdomen. Just letting go. Now, we've all heard this phrase that God is love. And it doesn't matter what we believe about God. That's not important. But whatever this unified consciousness of the universe is that contains everything, that is everything, that's interconnected with everything, its nature is love, which is the aspect of interconnectedness and oneness. So it's really useful to intend to tune into love. not an idea of love, but the feeling of love. So you're tuning into love with the tip of your tongue on the roof of your mouth, and while you're breathing in your abdomen and being in this space of amplification, we're unhooking love from the idea of a certain human being, like a certain relationship with a certain person. I mean, certainly those relationships can be great expressions of love, but this is the pure source of love we're tuning into. It's not based on how somebody treats you, or whether you're in a good mood, or whether you're single, or whether you're in a relationship, or, you know, none of that. None of those are just outer reflections of this. It's love is just the truth of who we are. And one of the natures of love is it's miraculous. Love is miraculous. So what I suggest is tune into love and do the hardest kind of love in the whole world that there is. It's called self-love. Like, it's so much easier for us to love someone else, right? Like, you know how it's so, we must, like, it must be kind of like an insanity the human race has, that we can focus love on other people and kindness and generosity, but then usually at the same time having this sort of negative self-talk toward ourselves going on all along. So at this moment, break that stupid cycle and just feel love and wonder for you, for the miracle that you are to exist right now. And that there's absolutely no judgment needed, because if you're feeling a lot of joy and pleasure and peace, and things are going well in your life, and you're feeling you're on a roll with some good things, that's worthy of love. And if you're feeling really troubled and all kinds of painful, difficult things are going on and disappointments, that's worthy of love, because it means you signed up for a powerful assignment so that you could purify that part of human consciousness. It means that you're doing some volunteer work to bring your love to all that crap that you're feeling. I know it's hard to believe this sometimes, because we actually judge that there's something wrong with us or we failed in some way, but it's not possible, because you are the divine. So if you're experiencing something unpleasant, it just means that you as the divine raised your hand and said, okay, I volunteer to clear up that piece of human shame, or that piece of human dysfunction, or that piece of human poverty. And I'm just going to keep bringing love to it until it's totally transformed. And in doing that, I'm going to do what humans call feel it in my own life. But the thing is, we don't even have to hang out in that, because this winter solstice, so many indigenous people and so many predictors and so many, people that are psychic or astrologers, or, all these, they're all agreeing that we are shifting into a new reality, and that we've already done it. Like one person who I really trust a lot, who I follow, said that timeline means a pathway of moving into the future with a certain set of experiences and outcomes. So it's like the pathway of your life. So that there has been a very negative timeline on this planet that's based on manipulation and greed and misuse of artificial intelligence and incredible disinformation and putting toxins into the air. I mean, this whole thing, warfare, on and on and on and on, controlling the economy. That negative timeline has been very obstreperously pushing for dominance. And what this person, who I greatly trust, said, it's already gone. It's already been taken away. It's not like we have to battle with it anymore. I mean, the ripples of it and like cleaning up all the damage might take some time, but it's already, there's only one real timeline left, and that's of pure love. It's the only one that's left. So because we have this fertile imagination, and because we can tend to hold all trauma in our mind, we may keep thinking that all that other stuff's happening, but the roots of it, the source of it's already been disconnected. You don't have to believe me. I mean, this really resonates with me. I really feel like it's true. So in this session we're in right now, it's a good chance just to flush the toilet of all those old beliefs and all that old negative programming. Because love actually is miraculous. Like I just rushed here from my office. I just did a session with a new patient I had never seen before. and for confidentiality, I'll keep this very, low key, but basically, this is a person who has not slept well since she was 6 years old and is now in her 60s to an extreme extent, and has had all kinds of other traumas, physical and this and that. And I don't know, how much her sleep's going to change, but I just know in that one session, which is a little over an hour, she made some deep shifts that had never happened before. And again, what's going to happen will take some time to see. But in terms of all, it just reminded me of that no matter how bad things seem for us, or these miracles are really our new reality. The hard thing is to believe it. Is to suspend our disbelief that could be true. Because what we can do is, if we don't believe it, because we're such powerful creators, we can actually keep recreating the old stuff and create simulations of the old pain and suffering and trauma, even though we don't have to. And I know it's tricky. It could be tricky because that's the way the mind is. So we're helping each other here to kind of like get on the wagon and stop drinking out of that bottle, recreating the crap of the past just because it's familiar. So one of the strongest human traits that we are the best at is denial. It's just like incredible what the human brain can deny. Like in others, I'm holding these glasses in front of me, and yet my brain's capable of saying that there's no glasses in front of me and actually believe it. And I mean, we all know people that are doing that, and parts of ourself that are probably continuing to do that. I mean, it's the way we create our picture of reality, by denying and blocking out. I mean, this is more profound. Like on one level, denial is more obvious. Like, let's say somebody, I don't know, this is like they did something egotistical or whatever, hurt someone's feelings. Like, oh no, it's your fault. I mean, that's like the more obvious surface kind of denial. But the bigger part of denial is that we are multidimensional beings, and we are living, our experience is so rich, and we're literally blocking out the vast majority of all of that experience and pretending it's not there, and focusing on one aspect that we call reality. And it's not even the most fun aspect. I don't know why we choose this one. I mean, there's a reason for it. I mean, there's definitely a divine purpose for everything we're doing. But the thing is that at this window we have now of this time we're in, this is a very special time. It's almost like the veils are thinner. So if you want to let go of a lot of that denial of who you are, here's a good chance to do that. So what about in this moment, letting go of that, like knowing that you're safe to be who you really are? And that at this time between solstice and Christmas is so powerful, a time of shift, that it's a golden opportunity to choose a different way of experiencing yourself. So I want to do is I'm going to be quiet for a couple of minutes and just offer like a time for you to reflect on that, for each of us. Just reflect on, I was just given a carte blanche, total permission, in total safety, to let go of what I believed I am in a limited, lower self fashion, and to envision who I am if I wasn't denying and fearing and judging. If I let go of all this stuff, what would I dare to know myself to be? So I'm going to put on a little bit of music. Just be bold. Just ask yourself, if I didn't have doubt and fear and judgment and limited beliefs, what do I know? What do I want to claim myself to be in this new reality of this time? And if you do this exercise and you feel like tension or fear, that's okay. Those are those control patterns trying to assert themselves. So just simply smile at them, say thank you for sharing, but no thanks. I'm not going to let you stop me this time. And there's a powerful energy of this group that you can lean on. You can just like feel encouraged by. And know that there is a certain kind of blessing that comes through you, a certain type of loving energy that's your own brand. I call it your transmission. You can use whatever term you want, like blessing, transmission, healing energy. And the kind that you bring through is your own, I don't know if I use the word unique, but it's your own signature. It's not exactly the same as what everybody else here is bringing through. So again, you can simply intend, I am now allowing the healing blessing or the loving energy in me to come through me to everybody else on this call, and anybody else you want to think about who who you want to share that with. And then just be attentive. Just notice if you can perceive anything, like any tingling in your body or a slight shift in your consciousness or a change in your emotions. Again, this is like research and development, just checking to see how it is for you. If you give permission in this environment of 2 or more gathered, there I am, to share your blessing. Again, it helps to have the tip of your tongue on the roof of your mouth. That's very grounding for this type of work. Slightly tighten the root lock between your legs is also helpful to ground and consolidate your energy, breathing more fully. Those are all great suggestions when you're doing this. You could also say, if you wish, I am willing to experience this more than I have before. I am willing to directly experience my gift to others more clearly than I have previously to this day. I give permission. Maybe just a little bit more than before, maybe a lot bit more, whatever you're ready for. The reason this is important is because many of us associate our greatest healing gift with being traumatized for doing it. It's like an old memory, old cellular memory, because that's the way this planet's been. It's been a rough place for healers in the past. In many cases, not always, but in some cases. But we're in a new time where that's no longer the case. We are really safe now in being who we are. It's just a whole different time. So even if it's a baby step of letting your transmission through just a little bit more, letting your light shine a little bit more, you have full permission to do that now.